So the girls and boys of the belonging to the group of partitions, they were ready to wipe off or remove the stain. They were expressing their ideas. Suddenly, Andreas found out one idea, that when he heard that the girl's uncle was a dyer. Now he became peaceful, and in the morning the major looked out and saw the enemy flag. So he said, what? Then, and above afloat upon the restless wind, so upon the restless wind, the expected flag of the enemy was flying. That could not be imprisoned or exiled or killed. Means these enemy, the revolutionaries, could not be imprisoned, could not be killed, and could not be done. So it would be soon down, of course, could never be silenced. It would be soon down, of course. So it would come down. Again, what would happen? Of course, the only trouble was that it would go up again somewhere else. So these revolutionaries could not be stopped. Again it would come down. Again it would go up. So it always did. This always happened. And he was getting used to it. So he was very much accustomed to it. So once the flag would be stopped down, again it would be if nothing could stop the revolutionaries. Once they would not be killed, they would not be sent to another country, they could not be imprisoned. So one group would be imprisoned, another group would come up. So constantly this would go on continuously. He had spent, he was getting habituated with it. So he had spent several months of his life searching the little houses of these towns and for explosives and arms for wanted men on the run as far as he could see. The same process must continue forever. So he had spent several months of his life searching the little houses of these towns for explosive and arms. So he had been searching these little houses for explosives and for arms. For explosive and arms, they had been searching in several houses. So means he had been continuously on a run. He had been continuously searching for explosive and for arms from houses. And as far as he could see, the same processes must continue forever. He knew that this same process would go on forever. The only difference seemed to be that on every occasion, the circumstances of the search became more humiliating. So every time he went to search for the thing, he went out to search, and every time it was rather insulting for him for the search. Now it was a girl with a face stained by vegetable dye who had made a fool of a homesick boy and helped another boy to raise once again the ever-present flag. The major felt an impatience to have the miserable business finished, but by daylight he no longer mistook for anger and hatred what was nothing but disgust and exasperation. So what happened? The major felt an impatience to have the miserable business finished. So he was thinking of the whole incident, that a face stained by vegetable dye who had made a fool of a homesick boy. Means a girl whose face was colored with vegetable dye. He had befooled one homesick boy, means the sentry, and helped another boy to raise the flag, ever-present flag. The major felt an impatience of the miserable business finished, but by daylight he no longer mistook for anger and hatred what was nothing but disgust and exasperation. So, but in the daylight, what happened? He could understand that he was not in search of anger or hatred, that these two emotions were not working in him. He was rather disgusted, means it was very much troublesome for him, and he was very much tired. The grammar school opened at 8 o'clock, and at 8:30 the major presented him. There was with a sergeant of 2 men. It was necessary for act of restraint on his part to wait the additional half an hour. He found it important to prove it to himself that what he felt was not the eagerness of the hunter, but only the determination of a man with a sense of duty. So it was necessary for him to restrain on his part, and the grammar school opened at 8 o'clock. At 8:30 the major went there. He presented himself and with the sergeant and 2 men, and on his part he kept his control. He found it important to prove to himself that he did not have the eagerness to hunt. Yes, he was not a hunter. He was not hunting for someone, but only the determination of a man with a sense of duty. So he was strongly determined. He was a man with a great sense of duty. So he was doing the duty for the authority, but not eagerly he was hunting for those boys and girls like animals. It doesn't seem means it would be rather bad for the for him also, that if he would feel like that he was hunting for the boy, but he was doing his duty. Now he might very well be very sick with self-disgust when the moment came, and the terrified child was dragged forth from the back row of desks, shrinking and trying to hide her disfigured face behind a handkerchief. So he might very well be sick. Means if it would not be the sense of duty, if would not be the sense of duty he was doing itself, he might be very well sick. Means if he would not do it with a sense of duty, he would be very sick. Why? With self-disgust. Means it would be rather a self-pity would come from me. He would be feeling rather bad with himself only. So when the moment came, when the moment would come that the terrified child, the frightened child being dragged from the back row of the desk, shrinking, means she was about to escape, she was trying to hide her colored face behind a handkerchief. So when he would catch the girl, he should not have self-pity on him. He wanted to do it from the sense of duty. He was punctilious in waiting at the entrance hall while the headmaster was paid. So he was very careful about maintaining correct behavior and etiquette. So he was very much patiently waiting in the entrance of the hall while the headmaster was being fetched. I need hardly tell you why I am here, he said. When the headmaster came, no doubt you have already seen the flag over the town hall. I need hardly tell you why I am here, why he was there. And he said, when the headmaster came, no doubt you have already seen the flag over the town hall. So already, I think, means the major said that already the headmaster knew why he had arrived there. Already he had seen the flag of the enemy on the top of the enemy town hall. I see it still there, said the headmaster gently. But no, naturally you need not tell me why you are here. So the headmaster could understand, because several occasions the major came to catch the partitions, to detect the partitions. Several occasions, several incidents took place. This was the latest incident, and the headmaster could easily know that why the sentry, why the major was standing there, as he was ready to catch the boy and the girl he had come to search the school. The headmaster was well aware of it, and so the headmaster told nothing to explain. We intend, said the major, to make an example this time. If you allow your children to move up into the front line, you must consider that it is to yourselves who inflict their punishments upon them. We would infinitely rather deal with you. So he said the headmaster to make the boys in a line, so to help them to identify, and it would seem that the headmaster had given punishment to them, not major had nothing to do with it, and then he would deal with the major would deal with the headmaster.